Okay, so thank you for coming to the EAMBES General Assembly. Sorry to be late, but as you may have seen, today was an interesting day. So without spending more time, just want to thank all of you, thank for patience, and I leave the floor to the General Secretary, to the Secretary General of EAMBES, Giuseppe Fico, for leading the agenda.
Okay, good afternoon. Okay, proceed. Okay, we have a tight agenda, so let's go to the point. This is the agenda for today. You have received it already. And let's go to the first 3 points. So here, the apologies for the absence. In case I am missed something, I will update it, but these are the justified absences that we have received today. Second point is the approval of the minutes that you should have received. So if there are no objections, we can consider the minutes as approved. We are sorry, but we are trying to fix technical issues. Ouch. Okay, let's go to point 3. I don't know if there is any matters or action to be added or arising. Okay, if no, we are going to the next point, which is the constitution of the new council. So I give the floor to Leandro. Timo, you want me to do it?
I think it's Leandro.
Okay, the words to Leandro, to our president.
Oh, benissimo. So let me start reporting that this year we had a significant number of candidates standing for election into the council. We had 10 members which stood up for this position. According to the chair of the nominating committee, this was the highest number we have ever had in EAMBES, which I'm proud to see, because we all believe and we agree that this is a proxy for how well EAMBES is doing. So the fact that we have so many candidates means that it is clear to our community the work that EAMBES is doing. So let me thank all of you and all the councillors for that in premise. And now, out of those 10 candidates, we got 4 that stood up out of the crowd for the number of votes they got. Originally, we wanted to appoint 3 new members, but what happened is that 2 of them, the third, those getting, so we got the first most elected candidate, the second most elected candidate, and then the remaining 2 got the same number of votes. And it's such a joy, and in the Constitution, we don't have a maximum number for member in our council, just a minimum, which is 8. And so we all agreed that it would have been a great opportunity to welcome 4 new members into the council rather than 2. So I'm very happy to welcome Mercedes Barraquina. I don't know if she's here. Yeah, Brigitte Glasmacher, which you all know. She has been former president of EAMBES in the past. Igor Lakovic from Croatia, and Mark Van Gils. So if they are online, I can give you the floor for 10 seconds if you want to say hello to the General Assembly.
Yeah, hello. I don't know if you can hear me.
Mercedes is there.
Yeah.
And wait a second, now you can also hear them. Okay, sorry. Again, I was without speaker. Welcome, Mercedes.
Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me, but hello. I was having a lot of connection problems, but I think they are solved now. So thank you for the opportunity of being here.
Thank you. Igor, I saw you also waving.
Yeah, good afternoon to everybody, and I'm happy to be here as well.
We are happy to. Thank you. Mark?
Hello, good afternoon also on my behalf, and yeah, I'm very pleased and honored to be present here and to work with you all.
Thank you. And Brigitte? I'm not seeing if Brigitte is in the meeting. Probably she's not. Okay, but we know Brigitte. So the
We lost Leandro.
Yeah.
Did you unmute yourself? No.
Ma se sono offline.
Just. Can you hear
Yeah.
us?
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Today we are very, very dynamic. We are doing many things in real time,
Out offline.
but as the EAMBES, we will make it.
Fighting on.
Yes. So just
No, you have to unmute.
now, yes. Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Metti il tuo speaker. Non
Yeah, they can hear us. Ma noi a loro. Please try to talk.
Hi.
Yes. Thank you.
okay, so in a nutshell, and you have seen all the bios, probably only one thing I need to apologize is that we didn't manage to get the latest version of the EAMBES society representatives. So in one case, we got a notification and the person told us, hey, it should not be me voting, but this other person, and we dynamically adjusted. In another case, we just were notified after closing the election. So probably there has been a couple of mistakes that we have done. I take full responsibility of that and I apologize. But we have no reason to think that this has affected at all the elections. So still, we think that the elections were a good exercise of democracy. And also we had a lot of voters that expressed their vote. So we don't have, technically speaking, a quorum, but I think more than 70% of those having the right to vote has voted. So again, this was a very good proxy on the dynamics of the EAMBES community. Therefore, getting it as short as possible, this is the new composition of the EAMBES General Council. Our technical manager, Caliroy, will be in contact with the
Paolo, Sabrina, Maria Pina.
Bravo, Paolo, Sabrina, and Maria Pina, but per favore, turn off the microphone. And Caliroy will be in contact with the new members and will be asking you to record a short video when you can present yourself. And those videos will go on EAMBES YouTube channel. You can go there and you can already see the ones recorded by former councillors, so that over time we build a library and we can also present our council members to the general public. Secretary General, back to you. This is the old councillor board. And dobbiamo annunciare la nuova? Yes, okay. So we have had right now the council, and I'm happy to announce the new board, but probably I should leave the floor to the new president to do so.
Oh, so I am new president
Yes.
from now.
Well, I might report later, but yeah, I'm more than happy to give it back to you.
Okay, thank you. So should you mute your microphone? Sorry, I'm unmuted now. So again, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for your introduction, Leandro. So after deliberations and discussions in the council, I am happy to present you the new composition of the executive board, the officers of EAMBES. So myself, I have stepped in as president. That makes Leandro our past president, and thank you, Leandro. It's a great mandate that you had. And then we agreed on proposing Giuseppe Pico, our previous Secretary General, to step in as President-elect, which opened the post of Secretary General, and we decided to have George Drosatos step in as Secretary General. And Leila, of course, is still our treasurer. Oh, okay, that was a little mistake. So, Leandro, should I pass the floor back to you then? Yeah, thank you. And let me mute.
Now you should share your slides.
Perfectly on time. So thank you, President. Professor.
You're both presidents.
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
for a second.
Fair
enough.
Your president
Fair
report, so.
But let me take this opportunity to wish you all the best, and I'm sure you will be a great president.
Thank you.
Okay, so as next point in the agenda, now we have the report of the president. Oh gosh, I'm again offline.
No, just move a little bit. No, I can see you moving.
Okay,
No, it's fine. You're here.
Okay, so I prepared with support by Kaliro a few slides, which is nothing novel compared to the State of Alliance that we published a few months ago in January. So forgive me, this should have been gone out in December, but again, getting it in January was still a good point. So in the State of Alliance, you can find all the activities that we have done in 2022. I'm really proud because the State of Alliance is growing over time and it's becoming longer and longer and full of interesting things. So if you have not done so, please read it. But in a nutshell, here are the most relevant things. As you may remember, we have re-engaged with the European Parliament after a break due to COVID. And we had our event the 29th of March, 2022. This was online event due to clearly uncertainty due to COVID on that time. And it was fairly successful. Most all the contents are again on our YouTube channel. So if you go there, you can find all the discussion, interesting discussion that we had on that time. And this was all about practice, impact, and promises of biomedical engineering and how we are advancing EU's health priorities. And right this morning, and I hope many of you were online, we had our fourth European Parliament Interest Group meeting. And today's topic was all about lessons learned from COVID, pandemic management and preparedness, and the role of technology securing the safe future. I think this is still the old title, but the title was slightly adjusted. I probably have it on, there we are, because we added the focus on telemedicine, because this was a topic very much appreciated and relevant to the MP, which has been supported us in organizing this event, which is Dr. Stelios Kimpouropoulos. Now that I learned the name, I want to use it. Exactly. So again, I hope all of you were online this morning and many of you were in presence. Still in front of me, I have a lot of friends. And just at the time to put this picture, our traditional picture on the Altiero Spinelli entrance of the European Parliament. And again, this was great. Actions will follow. So we will have few actions that we are still discussing. But again, those events are probably one of the most peculiar activity that we can, which can flagship EAMBES identity. I don't want to now say anything controversial, but I've not yet seen an event on biomedical engineering in the USA Parliament, nor I have seen any in any Asian countries. So again, that's not by chance. We know that we are 70% of IFMB members, for instance, we as European community. So it's clear that we have to pave the way. Probably we have to ask ourselves how we can support our friends from other regions to do as well as we have learned to do in Europe. I think that we should see similar events in the States, in Latin America, in Africa, and in Asia to be fully happy. Again, we had here on board the World Health Organizations. This has been facilitated by the fact that during COVID, we have been starting working more and more with them. By the way, have a look to the presentations. Everything will be online as soon as we get the recordings. And if any from the General Assembly, any member of the EAMBES community has any question or is willing to be involved in any way, just reach out. And again, this is your activities. Then we started a series of support for summer schools. So this is the one that was organized by the Italian Gruppo Nazionale di Bioingegneria. So it's the Italian member. In Italy, we have at least 2 societies which are member of EAMBES, the GMB, which are biomedical engineers, and AIIC, which is the Italian Association of Clinical Engineers. This is the summer school organized by the bioengineers. This was great. As you see, the numbers were impressive. The topic is very relevant, which was all about biomedical engineering for development goals. Our friends from Pisa, Arti, and Carmelo, which you know, were at the heart of this school, together with Stefano Severi from Bologna, and a little contribution from myself. Yari was there. We also had Ratko there as president of the IFMB, and we as EAMBES provided the awards, which I think was very, very much appreciated, especially from the attendees. More of that is coming, because this is also to feed EAMBES activities for early career. We don't like the word young or whatever, because we may have an early career which is not young, and we don't care. We don't want to discriminate people because of age, no? I wish I myself can leave this and start painting or something else, in which case I would like to be regarded as an early career painter rather than a young painter, because this would be ridiculous in my case. Okay, so we have only early career folks and fellows in EAMBES, not young. Last General Assembly was recorded and then transmitted online. And this is gonna be also this time. So again, we wanna reach out wider audience. We wanna be accountable for whatever we do. And so again, I hope this is a tradition that we can keep forward, IT infrastructure permitting. And let me take this opportunity to thank the friends from VUB, John, which is hosting us today in Brussels, and it's really appreciated. So thank you for the logistic support. EAMBES counselors, they all recorded the video as I anticipated. So again, it was tough to be the president during a pandemic, because this presented the same complications, probably a little bit more, without the same fun. Okay, so we met in person much less than usually we do, but we had to look for new way in order to knowing each other. And one of the way was this one. So asking all the new counselors to have an interview or a presentation which was published. And again, I think this can be brought forward, although I think we can meet in person more often. European conferences together with the IFMB. We have 3 conferences in the regions, 2 this year, the North Baltic Conference, which is in June, and Medicon, which is in September. And we are discussing how we can support them, organizing our meetings also to those events. So again, this is a learning pattern. And the next year we have the EAMBES, which is in Porto Roche in Slovenia, from the 9th to the 13th of June, organized by Damian Miglarevic. I don't know if he's online. And again, in the State of Alliance, we also listed all the other conferences coming for the coming 9 years, because you know, we like to keep busy, we make long-term plan. This helps us really facing everyday difficulties and putting things in the context. So as complicated can be COVID, let's think that once we will be in Mexico for not next World Congress, but next World Congress, this would be just, you know, a memory somewhere in our brain. Pandevita. Pandevita was the first European project in which EAMBES joined as a beneficiary member. This was actually started when Yari was the president, sorry, Timo was the president, and thanks to Eleni and Giuseppe Fico, which have been very proactive in bringing this forward. Meanwhile, we have been involved in few more proposals, two of which have been successful. One being Nobocap, which is a new project where we are subcontractors, and this is all about supporting notifying body to face better the tsunami which is coming. Some of you have also fun with me because I used this slide, which actually were from Timo, about the trends of new medical technologies coming forward, if you consider the numbers and the patents application per year. And we call it the tsunami of medical device, because we are getting a number which is difficult to manage for us, for hospitals, but before that to notifying bodies. So this project is all about trying to help them, if nothing else, educating those which will apply and make submissions, because we have been told by many notifying bodies that one of the issues is that the quality of the proposals requires several iterations, and this is taking longer than they wish. Okay, and as those that apply to that, we also may wish to make better, so our contribution will be there. And just yesterday, Olaf was leading this proposal. We were involved in an AC, European Innovation Council proposal, and we have been notified yesterday that this was successful. So you will hear more in the coming months from our new president. And again, just to say, it is a new experience. It's a learning process. We have to see probably how Pandevita first final financial review will go. And then we can be completely sure that this is something that EAMBES can do. We will define rules for accepting or not joining a new project. What we already agreed, all of us, is that none of us will be paid to avoid any conflict of interest. And this was the case for Pandevita. And that this will never have to be something which put EAMBES in competition with EAMBES members. So in Pandevita, our contribution was to bridge with policymakers. So today's event was 50% supported by Pandevita budget, so EAMBES budget, which was an income through Pandevita. And that's probably an activity that is absolutely not conflicting with the interest of any EAMBES member. In future, we need to put those into writing, especially if this activity becomes to scale up and we see more and more projects coming. But luckily, this will be in the hands of the new president, which are capable hands. Social media, we also revamped the communication. Once again, let me thank all the councillors that have been involved in that, producing contents, proactively supporting, and our new technical manager, Caliroy, which has been working a lot with Leila and other councillors, Emanuela Pendino, in order to make this work much more smooth and better and more coherent. This is the last. I just added a few things today. So we were invited by new MPs, an MP from Bulgaria, I don't remember his name now, sorry about that, to provide input again on the European health data space. We had already provided our input when this was open for public consultations. Out of our contribution, a couple of MPs reached out to ask for further details. And last but not least, this is the last document that we shared with them. So on few articles, we entered really in details, and we suggested how to make this European health data space regulation, which it still is now in the stage in which they are getting feedback from the different parliamentary members. So it's closed, the public consultation is open just for European Parliament members. And then this is reasonably becoming a law within a couple of years. And then there will be a transient period. This is a great enabler. This will completely reshape the way we use data for health in Europe. We will come with some complications because you know, adaptation and adoption will require a lot of attention. But equally to GDR, so probably GDPR was difficult to digest, and its application in each member state was something that we had to manage. But this is a great enabler because now we know how to manage data, we know how to share data, we know how to treat data in a safe manner in the best interest of patients. European health data space will be exactly the same. So we created the European Union for exchanging coil and still in the 50s. No, this was the first reason for getting together. But now it's not anymore the economy of coil and still, it's the economy of information. Therefore, now we have to do exactly the same jump of quality and create the opportunity, a platform for sharing data and all the business related to data. That's the main point. We don't need anymore to, well, we still need, unfortunately, coil and forever probably still, but now we need also data. And that's why we have this. And being part of that, I mean, should make all of us very proud. This was my last slide. You have the State of Alliance online, and back to our Secretary General, Giuseppe.
Okay, so I guess you can hear me. So we will try to save precious time. So I'm not going to repeat things that have been said or that will be said. So I'm very going to the point. Well, first of all, this is my last intervention as Secretary General. So I really thanks all the councillors and all the members of the previous executive boards that teach me on how to behave, guided me. I think today has been clearly demonstrated, and then to increase the executive organization. So for doing that, the novelty in this period that has been a success, and according to what we have been discussing before, it will continue, is to have a structure, to have a procedures as a growing organization in terms of numbers, impact, and quality of the things that we are doing. So for doing that, it has been fundamental to have a secretariat that has been working with all of us. So you see here the persons and the roles that they have been doing. These persons and these functions have enabled us to devote better our time and efforts to strategic and operational things, because we have a team supporting that. There are many things that have to be improved and will be improved. But I think it is the right direction that we are taking. So that's my main contribution, basically, as a legacy today in this presentation. We have been doing basically all online meeting. So today we are back to have presential meetings. And another novelty, I will tell you later about the members of the committees. So the numbers of members are basically almost the same with respect to the last year presentation. And the website has been definitely revamped. Now it's very operative, also because we have a secretariat devoted their time on this. So special thanks to Roy, to Caliroy Stradriano for doing all this job, also in setting up these meetings. So that's a great improvement. As a Secretary General, let me testify that. Well, the website is ready to submit events and sponsorships. So from EAMBES. Our president have been already informing you about that, and we have sometimes also afterwards. And afterwards, we are also going to give you some words on the journal, the official EAMBES journal, which is the Biomedical Signal Processing and Control. Events we have been said, and also in the letter you just see in the report that we have new proposals. In all of these cases, we are subcontractors. I'm sorry, I was not able to inform about the name of the Marie Curie, but I will provide this in a few minutes. But more importantly, as I said before, and maybe also later, we have a process and procedures and many lessons learned from the previous project, so that has created some lessons learned for the future participation in Horizons. So with this said, I'm giving the floor to Leila for the financial report and Kaliroy to show her slides.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Kaliroy. Here is a brief overview of the financial report for the 2022. As you can see, we have managed to keep the numbers of members in 2022. It remained 64 as it was in 2020 and 2021. So for the EAMBES membership income, here on the slide in the blue, you can see expected value. So for the 2022, we expected around 18,551 euro. However, we managed to acquire around 17,000 euros for the membership income for the EAMBES. And that is slightly higher than in 2020 and 2021. As for the fellows membership, there was an increase in number of fellows membership in respect to 2021. So you can see that in 2022, we have 9 more fellows memberships, and currently we are at the level of 109. For the membership income, we planned for around 15,000 euros. However, we managed to acquire only 10,000 euros, but that is slightly higher than in respect to the previous 2 years. Kaliroy, next one. As for the new members in 2022, we have we women engineers from Italy, and we have 1 member exit. That was a French Association of Biomedical Engineers. For the fellows, you can see here the class of 2022. We have numbers of our fellows to work with, and we have 1 fellows exit, and you can see the name of the fellow who exits here on the slide. For the bank account balance, you can see that in 2022 we finished with around 63,000 euros, and we are actually entered the 2023 with this bank account balance. And on the next slide, you can see the cost statement and the budget overview for 2023. You can see that in the end of the year, the balance should be around 28,000 euros. We planned for 18,000 for the membership fees and around 12,000 for the fellow fees, and of course all other duties to be paid are based from the ongoing project and from the contracts that we have or our estimation based on the previous years. So you can see here item by item, and with this I would go on the next slide to leave this for the comments afterwards. You can see that actual income for the 2022 was around 14,000, while we had the expenses listed as on the slide. And one thing that we are pointing out that the parliament event we had is around 21,000. And at the end, as you can see, the surplus forecast for the 2023 is around 27,000 euros. In the end, that would be the end of the financial overview. I will now open this for comments, or if Professor Leandro or Giuseppe have something to add on.
Okay, no, I don't have anything to add. If not to say that, again, what we have already discussed, that this opportunity of joining as beneficiary partners European project is giving us new opportunities for running activities which otherwise would not be sustainable with the EAMBES normal income. So that's something that we need to consider for the future. So if nothing else, or if no one else has any question, we may now ask for a vote on this budget, on this balance. Is there anyone with objects? Anyone which abstains? If not, we can consider this approved unanimously. Back to you, Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to. So the approval has been voted. Now we have other 2 points under this voice. One is to determine the yearly member contribution, which means
Whether it will we keep the same.
Yes.
That is in the budget.
exactly. So is there any proposal to change? It seems not. And then there is a request for discharging for liability the officers and the members of the council. So this is the new money laundering regulation in Europe, which which asks for a clear mandate for officers and a vote from the General Assembly for discharging them for liability, both for officers and for members of the council. So again, may I ask if anyone objects? If there is anyone abstaining? In case not, we can consider this approved unanimously. Thank you, Timo. Back to you, Giuseppe.
Okay, so next point in the agenda is the, sorry, 1 second, is the report on division of fellows. So I will give the floor to Yari and Panikos.
Can I show you a slide? Yeah.
Hey, hope everybody can hear me. I think I unmuted myself. Yeah. Okay. Yes, great, excellent. So this short report from fellows activities, and me and Panikos, we are the counselors kind of fellows as well at the same time. Just shortly who the fellows are, if there's somebody who don't know about this. So fellows is a kind of established by EAMBES to kind of remember people and embrace people who have done some great work in biomedical engineering. So those are identified contributions or accomplishment in medical and biological engineering and science. And how people are nominated is that it's really kind of in-breed system. We have fellows who can propose other persons to become fellows, and they need to be supported by fellows and even get 2/3 of voting from the fellows. And then criteria really are success in biomedical engineering, whether it's research, I mean, health relevance, maybe some industry education, publications, and others are important, but as well these strong societal activities in maybe EAMBES or other organizations as well. And this was started 2012. And that is the present Fellows Committee who organized this fellows activities, and through the years of COVID, main activity has been really to collect these new votings, organize them, and have these activities, and especially fellows seminars where we introduce these new people. And of course, we hope that we are becoming more visible in EAMBES, but also in European society, let's say conferences and other activities. Now the COVID has passed. And this year, this is the phases of the new fellows that we elected. So 9 new fellows were succeeded or passed the voting. And we have 3 new fellows from Sweden, 1 from Finland, from UK, Italy, Greece, and Slovenia. And we'll come back to the names and their contributions tomorrow. But you can see already at least one very familiar face, our president or past president. So congratulations. But we'll come back to these tomorrow when we had the fellows seminar. And just to kind of note that we heard already that the fellows numbers are increasing, and now we are about 120. And what is a little bit pity is that the number of fellows who are female is not really satisfactory, I would say. We need to do a better job on that. So it's more like educating fellows on how to propose female colleagues on this, because I'm quite sure we have plenty of female fellows, female colleagues who deserve to become fellows as well. And also the countries are there, and you might see that if your country has a low number of fellows, again, it's your country's fellows reason for that. So they haven't really been active. So we need to maybe push the people throughout Europe to be active on nominations as well. And of course, you are all welcome. Tomorrow we have the fellows seminar. We are here in Brussels on site, but there's a link, and I think you have received also the link from Kaliro's emails. So please join us tomorrow here in these new fellows. There's at least one existing fellow presenting as well. But I think it's going to be a really nice seminar. A lot of topics on different areas of biomedical engineering, from telemedicine to today's topic to really on biomechanics and fluidics and so on. Interesting talks. Looking forward to those. And this is something we would like to do. So we are not just passive. We would really like to accomplish still something and work with EAMBES, but with you guys there as well. So I would say that there's a nice new site. My picture is actually on an old web page, but if you go to EAMBES Fellows, you can see the names of the fellows, but not just names. You can see the short CVs. If you need the person expert on something, or if you need the person on giving plenaries, keynote, something, I think you can find really plenty of good names here, and a lot of experience on whether it's science, whether it's commercialization, EU products, you name it. I think you can find a lot of good experts here. So please keep it in mind as well. Thanks, and I think I'd like to say something about the nice contribution to the publishing.
To the journal. Yeah, thank you, Jari.
I'm going to unmute and see what happens. Thank you, Jari. Yeah, a good presentation on the fellows. I think just to reinforce, the EAMBES Fellows is a formidable powerhouse of expertise in the field of healthcare, from basic science to engineering, and we should utilize it. Something that I am very proud of with our fellows, especially during the challenging times of COVID. They have taken the initiative to lead a special issue on machine intelligence in biomedical data modeling, processing, and analysis. So that was a pure initiative from the fellows team. And not only that, this initiative was in collaboration with the EAMBES official journal, which is the Elsevier Journal of Biomedical Signal Processing and Control, a respectable journal in the field with an impact factor over 5 and a Q1 in signal processing and health informatics. And it was a most successful activity. There was an overwhelming contribution of manuscripts in this particular special issue, edited by Giuseppe Paselli, Ioanna Huvarda, and Roberto Hornero, and published astonishingly 16 full peer-reviewed journals. And I would say, you know, in my history as editor-in-chief of this particular journal, is one of the special issues that actually published most. Usually we get 9, 10 manuscripts in a special issue for such a short duration. And this is something that the fellows tomorrow, especially when we have our discussions, is to find pathways of how else fellows can contribute to the society in Europe and beyond with their wisdom, expertise, and sort of kudos in the field, and how we can transfer more in addition to contributions to a journal and help. It could be activities, symposia, and this will be decided tomorrow. But they're active, and we would like to, as Yari said, from time to time, visit as members of EAMBES, visit their website and have a look at the activities, the publications, and also look at the portfolio of the fellows, and you can reach out. They're all very friendly people. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so let's go now to the next point in the agenda, which are, well, there is the report of new members that have been just said before. If we confirm the information from last year, which was We Women Engineers stepping in and the French Association of Biomedical Engineering stepping out. As for point 10, 11 and 12, for saving time, I'm going to merge them in the next table. Because they are all condensed here in this table. Basically, this is something that happened through the last reporting period. With the new councillors, I mean the ones from 2022, we have been working continuously in the meetings that you have seen before in defining and redefining and refining the organization of the role of the councillors, because the idea is that now we work in committees that are composed by a team of people with the coordinators or chair and members that contribute. So the committees are the Constitution, Bylaws and Nomination Committee, the Fellows Committee, the Institutions, Industrial Affairs and Professional Organization Committee, Regulatory Affairs Committee, Education Early Career Committee, Conferences Organization, Communication and Dissemination Committee, Gender Minority Committee, and Public Affairs Working Group Committee. This was actually the next point in the agenda. So I will give the floor to you, Leandro, if you would like to add or to inform on this committee from your side.
So no, we heard during the council meeting earlier this morning their brief reports, and few committee consider they were just established a few months ago, and again they had not yet time to meet in person to any of European conferences yet, so they will be more active once they start meeting in person. So I wish they can coordinate among themselves and meet probably to the North Baltic Conference or to the Medicon Conference in June or in September, respectively, and start spinning out more activity. The ones that have been already successful in producing interesting activities, probably also because they were already there before. So it's natural that when a committee is established, it needs some time to start really moving forward and create some activity. So probably we may ask whether Andreas and Kurt would like to report respectively on the Institutional, Industrial Affairs and Professional Organization Committee, as well as on the Regulatory Affairs MDR Committee. If you'd like to say anything now.
So good afternoon. I hope everybody can hear me, but I guess yes, because I'm hearing myself. Yeah, regulatory affairs, of course, the everything what has to do with the MDR and the IVDR are the, let's say, top topics of the Regulatory Affairs Committee. Right now, we got some, let's say, breaking news in the field of MDR and IVDR. Just 2 days or 3 days ago, the European Commission have published an amendment to the MDR and to the IVDR respectively in postponing the deadlines of the Article 120. That means that the medical device manufacturers, they have now much more time to get their products certified when they want to bring the products to the European Union market. Actually, the deadlines have been postponed in the field of the lower risk medical devices up to end of 2028, and in the case of the higher risk medical devices to the end of 2027. This is a lot. So I guess it's really good news for the whole field of medical device manufacturers and for all who have to deal actually with this regulation. So, but anyway, the regulation is there and the requirements are high. So we have definitely to discuss a lot of, let's say, detail aspects of the regulation. And I guess one hot topic, if I may say so, for us in our committee will be the field of artificial intelligence medical devices, because from a regulatory point of view, the artificial intelligence software is problematic, because right now, if you are dealing with continuously learning AI systems in with medical applications, there is no scheme for certification. That means you have to freeze the systems in order to bring them to the market, and this is, of course, not very good and not very helpful. So there are discussions going on to transfer approaches from the FDA, from the United States, to the European Union market in order to create a special certification scheme where you come to a, let's say, pre-certification of systems under a certain boundaries. So I think this will be a very interesting task for us to discuss and to make some recommendations how to proceed further. This is the one thing. And the other thing, I guess, in the light of the discussion we have had today in the European Parliament, I think it's very important to make the European Parliament or the members of the Parliament clear that right now it's really a hard job and hard work, in particular for SMEs or for the smaller players in the medical device field, really to fulfill all the requirements and to get their new innovative products to the market. So we have to make clear that right now MDR and IVDR are not really supporting innovation in the field of medical devices. I think this will be the second important topic we have to discuss in EAMBES. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no comments or questions, I wonder if Andreas is still online and if you want to say anything. Probably not. Okay, so and from the other committee, we heard about the Fellows Committee. Thank you for that. Constitution by Law Committee, we heard about the Nomination Committee. We discussed it this morning, what we need to consider in the coming meetings for updating the bylaw after we changed the Constitution less than 1 year ago. And I think that's all we heard, and the other committees. they
Hello,
have been-
can you hear me?
Oh, Andreas, now we can hear you. Okay, do
Sorry,
you
I
want to
have
say?
so much trouble with Zoom today. I
Don't worry.
apologize. I tried, yeah. So yeah, of course, I'm happy to say something. There's time.
Go,
Yeah, should I say something?
if you like.
Yeah, so um, I'm actively trying to get new members, societies joining EAMBES, and one more interest was raised at the German Society for Endoscopy and Imaging, as well as the German Society of Surgery. But they still not so, let's say, the problem is they have to pay for something and they don't know exactly why. But at least these disciplines, interventional gastroenterologists, surgeons, have all these medical devices, have problems with devices losing because of recertification and things like that. So they see more and more the importance to join a European initiative. And our very well organized parliament meeting was certainly a help and flagged up how important EAMBES can be and how well it links to the European Commission. So I'm continuously working on these acquisitions of medical societies joining EAMBES. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the update. And from the other committee, I know because we discussed it in the council meeting that they are still organizing themselves, and we will hear more from them in the coming weeks and months. Okay, Giuseppe, back to you.
I give the floor to Lenka for the report from the IFMB Council of Societies.
Yes, well, it's relatively brief because I'm trying to consolidate all the information and also expecting that I will meet most of the representatives of the national societies in September at Medicon. I did the check of information which is currently on the IFMB website about the European societies, and sorry to say it, but the information is not in all cases consistent and full, because I'm responsible for the reporting about the changes and contacts from our national society. So I know that there is a regular request from IFMB to update this information. However, sometimes I have to check it through the national websites of the societies, and even many websites are old, so there are not current contacts to the national committees and especially to a contact person for the Council of Societies or to for this international level. So this is something I would like to push a little bit, and I would like to ask you all for help if you know that the website of your national society is not in the best shape, to ask your colleagues to improve it. Sometimes probably there is something going wrong, at least with the link which is now officially on the IFMB site. So this is something I would like to improve, so that at least we have a really reliable mailing list to all societies, and also to make links in many occasions to EAMBES members. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lenka. So next point in the agenda is the report on the Levita project from Eleni.
Okay, so I guess you can hear me now. So okay, so about the Pandevita project, that is our first successful project, which was funded and is running since 2022 and is about to be finished in a few months. This was a Horizon Science with and for the Society project, and with a rather low budget, but that was perfect for EAMBES to start working with competitive projects. So here our role was to analyze use cases and deal with dissemination and arrange and organize a European Parliament event, which actually we did today. So basically we led the work in a work package and in specific in the task that had to do with the analysis of case studies about cooperation between science and society during the pandemic. As I said, one of the responsibilities was to organize the European Parliament event that it actually happened today. Just to give you a very quick overview of the timeline of the other works that we had to do within this project. We started with a set of criteria about use case selection and then communicated that to the consortium. Then partners of the consortium suggested possible use cases to be studied. We selected 3 of them as it was our mandate, analyzed these 3 use cases, and then this ended up into an open access publication, which was actually submitted and is now under review. Now the 3 use cases, you can see them here in this slide. The first one was about information and knowledge exchange between general practitioners in Germany. The second one looked into macroeconomic indicators during the pandemic in various countries and especially in Turkey. And the third one was actually conducted by EAMBES and looked into topical, temporal, spatial, geospatial, and emotional aspects of Twitter posts related to the pandemic and related to information exchange between scientific organizations and the public. For the sake of time, I will not go into more details. We are preparing a second publication on that, and once that is ready and published, everybody will be notified about the results.
Next point.
And next point is again me. Okay. So now that's my last presentation with a different role of the president of EAMBES. And first of all, I would like to thank you for electing me in this position. I'm happy to be able to serve EAMBES after so many years in different places, as well as a president. The first thing I have to say is that I will try to keep up the good work. That's especially hard because I come after a long list of very, very successful presidents, where each one brought EAMBES even further. So you've got the I have to do a lot to be at least a little. But then again, I think it's not that difficult. There are more difficult things to do around here. So the first thing to do is to try and keep up all the good activities that have been set into place. And that is actually very very good that we have Leandro as past president with us to help with this process. What I have to highlight is that indeed EAMBES has achieved a very good status within our community, both locally and globally. So now we have to build on that and reach out and connect with more stakeholders and bring connections with other groups rather than scientific partners in biomedical engineering and science. So my first thought is that we probably need to start discussing with consumer and patient groups. There are many in Europe, a lot of them well established and actually used, for example, by EMA, the European Medicines Agencies. So probably we should start opening discussions with them and talk to them, explain what we do, and listen to what they have to tell us and how we can incorporate their views in what we do. And of course, the second reach out could be to other European scientific societies. I mean, we've heard a few from Court today and from Andreas, actually. So there are a lot of activity very close to what we do going on around us, and probably it's time to create connections with all these society. For example, health informatics, medical physics, other medical societies in Europe. The other thing that we need to do is to capitalize the recognition EAMBES has attained to organize more summer schools. I think that's a very great first. And I think that's a second pillar of what EAMBES should be doing, enhancing education. And actually here we can engage our fellows. We have all this big fellow body, and that's a great opportunity to engage them and deliver thematic specific summer schools that will have the seal of EAMBES, and that will actually create more extroversion of the society. The other thing we can do similar is to organize scientific challenges in various conferences, and not only conferences. We can start thinking of creating our own challenges and create a series of them, because that actually gives us the opportunity to embrace young and early career researchers into what we do. We make ourselves known to them as well. And eventually, not very short term, probably even to the future, a little bit to the future, we can establish some small prizes, awards, depending on finances. Actually, that again brings an impact to you have your name heard in a very good way. So early career researchers, Leandro has started the discussion about this concept 2 years ago. I think it's time that we emphasize on a counselor's team, to do that and take this step even further and actually start realizing actions, not only discussions, but actually do something so that I mean, it doesn't have to be very big in the beginning, just to start working on that, just to make ourselves there, put ourselves in the map. So it seems that we have been increasingly active in many fronts. That actually all your report and Giuseppe's report say that. So now we need to engage ourselves more in order to reach maximum impact. I'm sure that we can get more out of every counselor and every counselor team as well. So probably I think that what we need to do is I will start working with every team individually and see how they're doing, set goals, and actually even more set very specific short-term action plans so that we can have a tangible past impact and build on that for the next short-term plan. Because I think that's actually can make things move quicker. Apart from engaging people in the council, I think we can engage our members, and we can gain a lot more by discussing more with members, not only once a year or twice a year in the General Assembly. And actually that can provide some sort of return on investment for our members. And actually that probably might bring more members in. And I think that's what we should be doing. Now, how? It may sound naive, but I think the first thing to do is to look into our members database, talk to our contacts, probably ask from our members to give us more than one name or more than 2 or 3 names that some of them have given us, so that we have more people to reach. All it's on a voluntary basis, so it's very understandable that if one person doesn't really have a time to invest, but if you have 5 persons, probably you can find one of them to be able to communicate with us. And then we should find some, at least maybe way to start communication with our members and engagement. And I think probably we can start with just one simple survey on members, just to start this back and forth, just to start communication with, which I think is lacking right now. And probably that will help with creating a more frequent newsletter. And that doesn't have to be very big and very ambitious, but there's a lot that is going on. I mean, only about the MDR amendments and every other little thing that happens or big thing that happens, we can communicate that. And I think that some way, a first step to start a good communication with members. So finally, going back to our first funded project, now we are finalizing it. So far, we have been successful, and pending the final review and the financial review, I think we will be successful. So now I think it's time for us to develop a strategy to increase our participation in research proposals. And not only in proposals, we have to develop appropriate internal procedures on how to manage both the proposal and especially how to manage the project. And I don't mean financially, because we found a good way to do that, but I mean in terms of internal procedure, who undertakes the lead, the project, how do you form a team to work for it, how EAMBES can gain a little bit out of the project. I mean, apart from the fame and apart from the good work done there, how we can sort of save a little bit of budget to have a benefit from there for our association. And if we manage to set these things up, then probably we can even start talking about seeking actively our participation in more proposals, as we've discussed in the council before. So, especially for this last part, which I think is very crucial to increase our budget and our visibility, and also in order to support all the teams that the councillors' teams that are there, I would like to ask your permission and your approval to initialize this article in our new status, Article 7.6, which says that the General Council has the right to appoint vice presidents who are ex officio members of the executive board without vote, and they can help on specific objectives of EAMBES. And this specific objective, I would like a vice president to help us with, is constitutions and bylaw, not constitution, because that's what we managed to update, and we have a very good document set up in place right now. But we will need to create internal procedures and bylaws probably to help all these committees do their work, and especially funded projects, and have all these procedures aligned with our constitution. So for that, I would like your approval to ask Timo Jämsä to step in as a vice president, so not leave us yet, and help us continue to help us with the constitution, bylaws, and all this organization that we need. So, is there anybody who has an objection to that? Anybody abstaining? I'm following your steps now. Okay. So great. So thank you, Timo. You accept, of course. You didn't say you object. Yeah, but you can. Great. Okay. So you accept this role. Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, I just want to summarize again my first action plan for this year. A lot of introspection, continue that, extroversion, outreach to new different groups, spotlight on early career scientists with many different tools, and look into financial growth, especially via funded projects. You know, if there are any comments or suggestions or. Thank you. So let me stop sharing so I can see the participants here. I don't know if we have any comments from our remote participants. No hands raised. So should I give the floor back to you, Giuseppe, for your last point as Secretary General? Thank you. Muted, so you can unmute.
Thank you. No, yes, let me share. So next point is any other business. I don't know if there is any.
I don't think. Okay.
I have one.
Yes.
I think today we thanked Leandro in many ways, but I want to formally thank him for his presidency, his energy, his contribution, his friendship throughout the years. So, and I want to thank him in the most fitting way. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Vengo lì.
Well, again, I really don't have much to say. I want to thank all of you for the great opportunity I was given to contribute to EAMBES as an early career, and now as an early career past president. And
every possibility.
exactly. So I will remain an early career forever. So I just took the liberty. I don't know if that's clear. To order a few plaques, all the officers, which clearly now you cannot see. But this is to thank Lenny for her service as vice elected president,
Timo as the president, past president, Giuseppe Figo as secretary general, and I got one for me. My wife will ask me where I have been. I can bring the plaque and say, hey, I was there. So not much to say. Then good luck.
You don't have to say a lot now because we'll keep working.
No, in fact, by the way, I'm not dying.
Yeah.
Just stepping out. So don't make it too much.
You're not stepping out.
But really, I am sure Eleni will do much better than we have done altogether in the past years. Oh, if nothing else, because we will support you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. You have done a tremendous job to bring the society forward. Really excellent.
Thank you, Andres. I can still a few words. I would like to congratulate the whole council, especially the officers. You have had a very nice team, and thank especially Leandro and Eleni. See a very good future. And being in the council since 2006. With some breaks between. So I think it's time to step out, but I promised Eleni to not to step out totally. Please be free to contact anyone. Thank you for everyone.
I know you have to run.
We are going to Parliament.
Yay.
Okay. See you in the dinner.
Yes.
Okay, we'll bring it for the dinner. Later. Thank you. Yes, next point is just the date of next General Assembly meeting, and we just put March 2024, but
I mean, we can have that as our normal, regular meeting, and in the meantime, we can always have another one at one of the conferences, or even hybrid as usual. Of course, we will arrange new kinds of meetings very soon. Very soon. That's for the principle.
Okay, with this, we can close this meeting. And thanks a lot to all of you connected online, be there, but also to the ones that are here. So it's great to meet persons for the first time and touching each other and breathing the same air. So it's happy that we were able to do it thanks to the great people transitioning us to a new era in Europe. Thank you.
It is a
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
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 Bye, everyone.